Okay, we're on page 2 of the notes for Math 31, section 4.6. And we learned on page 1 two different methods of handling complex fractions. This one's complex because it's got a fraction in the numerator, and it also is complex because it has another fraction in the denominator. It doesn't have to have both. So what we're going to do is interpret the middle bar as division, and this becomes 2/3 divided by 4/5. Now you're not allowed to cancel yet, but you're going to change this in a minute by taking the reciprocal of the second fraction, and then it becomes a multiplication problem. So at this point, you're allowed to cancel or cross off values that have shared factors. So let's see, 2 goes into there once and 2 goes in there twice. So then when we multiply across the top, you get let's see, 5/6 would be your answer here. And that was a pretty quick problem. If you know what you're doing, it just doesn't take long to do. Okay, here's another example. We're going to use that first method where we write it as a division problem. So 4x/3 divided by 12/15. And then we reinterpret the division. It's equivalent to multiplying by the reciprocal of the back fraction. And here we have two places we can cross cancel. Remember, you can only do that once it's a time, so it's a multiplication problem. We'll divide these by 3. We'll divide these by 4. And multiply across the top to get 5x. And across the bottom to get 3. And that problem's done. Okay, we have a much more difficult task here, so we're going to use method 2. And for method 2, you try and get the least common denominator. I'm going to highlight those denominators. And all 4 of those numbers divide into 12. So I'm going to use 12 as my multiplier. And it's going to look like this, times 12 up here. And down here. And this 12/12, the reason we're allowed to multiply by 12/12, it is in effect just multiplying by 1. Okay, so here you're going to say 12 divided by 4, which would be 3, then times this 3 that we haven't used yet. You get 9 there. So that's an easy way to get 3/4 of 12. Okay, the next one here is 12 divided by 3 times 1, which if you do all that, you get 4. And then here you get 2/3 of 12. Take 12 divided by the 1 on the bottom. 12 divided by 3 would be 4, times the 2 that you haven't used yet. That gives 8. And then minus half of 12, which would be 6. So this turns out to be 13/2 when you're done. Okay, this one here has denominators of 4m and 5. So the number part of it, the 5 and the 4, both go into 20, but we also have to cancel that m off. So we're going to say times 20m here and 20m here. And that takes us to our next step. Distribute here, 20m divided by 5 would be 4m. 4m times 3 is 12m. Now down here you get 20m times 2. And then on the bottom, the m's cancel. 20 divided by 4 would be 5, times 3 is 15. And we're going to combine these like terms up there. That's going to be 52m over 15. And then I think, let's see, 52 is 13 times 4. Since neither 13 or 4 divide into 15, we're actually done. I didn't need that last little equal sign. Okay, example E is the last one on this page, and let me highlight its denominators. We've got a B, and a 2, and a T, so we're just going to use all 3 of those to help cancel them off. 2BT. Okay, in the first round, the b's cancel, so you get 2AT. In the second round, the 2's cancel off, so you get plus BT. Underneath here, the T's cancel off, so you get 2BC. Now, just to illustrate that last one, 2BC, it could be 2, and then you could turn it around. Instead of BC, you could have CB. It doesn't really matter. Now, we want to watch out here. Let's think about this thing for a minute here. These here don't have the same variables, so they can't be combined. And we're not allowed to cancel here or here separately unless, well, it looks like we could cancel these 2's, but this plus sign is like death to that idea, okay? Canceling has to have multiplication, not addition next to it. So you're better off just leaving this one alone, because if you start to cancel it, you're probably going to mess it up. Okay, so there it is, page 2 of the note set, section 4.6.